So, Spirit is saying, you know the saying, in order to love me at my best, you need to also love me at my worst. That is true. But there's a different scenario going on here collectively. And I want confirmation of this message I got. And I'm looking at my notes that I wrote down as it was coming to me. Hold the phone. Two of Wands, Two of Cups, and Eight of Pentacles. Connection at our worst. This is based off of, and this is happening very heavily with not only individuals with each other, but also just that connection that you used to have with your workplace, or something that you enjoyed doing, or people that you enjoyed being around. It's changing now. There's things that are coming to light because, yes, in order to love me at my best, you need to love me at my worst. And that's where this changed, the Two of Wands. There's different ways that things can be handled, but because of the awareness that you are coming into, you're now seeing that you do not have to live life in that sense. Oh, well, you got to love me at my worst to take me as my best. Now it's coming down to the connection that we've had, this feeling that I've had, this want to want certain things is now starting to dissipate. And it's because of the worst. It doesn't serve you anymore. These people, these things, these places do not serve you the way that they did when you were who you were, because you're changing, you're growing. So now you're realizing that that connection, that relationship, that love for that particular thing, the reason that that connection is starting to fade is because you're not at your worst anymore. And this is a huge, Spirit is trying to emphasize this, like this is serious when it comes to, you're now starting to embrace the love for yourself. And in doing that, you are realizing the connections that you've built with certain people, places, or things are literally linked and worked well together because it wasn't good. Because there was too much chaos and drama, and that's what that relationship and connection was built off of. So now it's interesting to see how all of a sudden now we're on a seesaw. You got the situation was like this, but now that the realization is that I don't want to be linked to this person anymore, because when I'm doing bad, that's when this person feels comfortable with me. That's when this person or place suits me, or this thing suits me. But now that you are in a position to do better for yourself, now it is that is unbalanced now. Now the seesaw is, wait, I am doing better for myself. I do feel better about myself. I put myself at a higher standard now. Oh, wait. Now that relationship or that place or that thing that you used to love isn't even anymore. So it's almost as if the person, I don't even need the cards, it's all coming out. You're realizing that your world, your life does matter. That's why we have the Two of Wands, where you're starting to realize that that connection is based off of chaos. It's based off of negativity. It's based off of that person or that place seeing you as easy, as somebody who can be manipulated, as somebody who can be stepped on. you realize that that is no longer how you see yourself, how you present yourself, and you're not going to allow that anymore. So now you're starting to put into yourself, and that becomes a threat to people who can't do better for themselves, who can't bring themselves to do better for themselves. It places a threat in that place of business because now you have a voice. Now you stand up. You're not just a robot anymore. You're not just doing what you're told. You're questioning things. The Eight of Pentacles. Letting go of that connection because it's connected to things that were in your life mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, and that connection was based off of a negative. But you're not there anymore. And that's why the World card comes out after the Eight of Pentacles. And then I heard the song Running Up the Hill. Running Up That Hill. Now I know Stranger Things is all over the place, and I am a huge fan of Stranger Things. But it happened to come on in the moment of me hearing this message come through. Now that song is based off of, if you look it up, it's based off of if you were to switch places with that person. And then right after that came to me, that specific moment of this song represents you switching places with that person, or switching the narrative so that you're not in that specific place anymore or doing that specific thing anymore. I immediately hear one of Leo Skepi's skits of the difference between you and I is I would have never done to you what you did to me. Just that part alone, going with the song Running Up That Hill. And Spirit is pretty much letting it be known, like, this connection that you had, because it was connected based off of negativity, based off of sadness, based off of not seeing yourself in a bright light, that's done and over with. And now you're coming to the realization of, okay, maybe you were sticking with that place of business because it's bringing in money. But the sacrifices that you're making on yourself is not worth that money, and you can go somewhere else. And it's time. It's time to move on. That person that you had the connection with, that connection was based off of negativity. It was based off of you were not allowed to be better. You were not allowed to do better. You were not allowed to have happiness in your life, because if you did, God forbid, they're being sarcastic now, God forbid you were doing a little good in your life, it was a threat to that person. Cut it out. Cut it out. Because like it says, I would have never done to you what you did to me. And then after that, Vienna comes out. The song, Vienna waits for you. I'm not a singer, so don't judge me. Before I go any further, they're giving me cards. The Page of Swords goes with Running Up That Hill. You are now taking control of the fact that you will no longer allow that connection to control you, manipulate you. You will no longer allow that connection to even exist if they or that place or that situation is causing you any bit of harm. There is no, well, maybe, no. Not anymore, because you have actually come to the realization to pour into yourself, to allow your light to shine so that you can embrace what makes you happy, and you can embrace now new opportunities, new relationships that are not based off of drama or chaos or negativity. Now it's being based off of the positivity.